Our first look at Superman's suit, The Rock joining the MCU, and we revisit one of the best X-Men movies ever. I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Anthony.
And welcome to That Superhero Thing.
Let's do it.
I didn't want to talk about X-Men 97 yet because I wanted to save it all for next week's episode, but I'm a little bit traumatized.
So, the last 5 minutes I just sat with my hand over my mouth.
Yeah, me too.
I was almost clutching my pearls.
I don't know what was going on. Do you know what? I'd seen all the reactions online to people saying, this is like, oh my God, and this is the best episode ever, 10 out of 10, all that sort of stuff. And I watched it all the way through. And all the way through was like, yeah, I mean, this is really good. This is solid, this. And then it just like, bang, everything all at once. And it threw me, and I had to rewind it and go back. Yeah. We're not going to say what happened, because just in case anyone hasn't caught up, we're not going to get into detail.
Spoilers.
We are doing an X-Men 97 wrap-up next week.
Yes.
Yeah, but this week, we're not. To sum it up. I don't know where I was going there.
No, I
On
don't.
this week's show, though, we are talking... There's quite a lot of news. I started prepping for this week and thought, I can't actually think of any big news that's happened, but I've actually got quite a few bits to talk about. So we're going to talk all the news. Then, because it's X-Men themed season, I don't know what I mean, but because it is, we're doing X-Men 2.
Yeah.
That film that you didn't vote for, and it came last, but do you know what? Screw it, we're doing X-Men. This is your spoiler warning as well. There will be spoilers and speculation throughout the episode. Yeah, obviously for X-Men 2, but we might potentially be spoiling. There's rumours in the news, so we're going to talk rumours. Yeah. If you want to skip past any of that, you want to go straight to the review or to Podfans Assemble, then we'll put timestamps in the description. As always, should we start with some X-Men news?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So this is a rumour. They're all rumours again. Well, not all rumours. James Gunn, he didn't rumour... fucking hell, I can't talk.
He didn't rumour nothing, okay?
Didn't rumour. There's lots of rumours this week. First one, from My Time to Shine Hello.
Okay.
Because they've all got weird names, as we've already said. There are rumours as to where adamantium is coming from in Captain America 4.
Okay.
Captain American. It's going to be a fun episode this week. I can already tell. It's like a knockoff toy you'd get at the market. Captain American 4 FOUR. So according to My Time to Shine Hello, this is just a rumour. In Cap 4, we're going to find out where adamantium has come from.
Okay.
And it's got something to do with the big celestial that's been sticking out the water for
about bloody time.
8 years. It's about time, yeah.
No one's noticed for 6 years.
I know. What they're saying is that that's where the raw form of adamantium is going to come from.
Right.
And Japan are going to be the first country to figure out how to develop it into an actual metal and like weaponize it, which fits quite well with like Silver Samurai.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's where adamantium is going to come from.
Question.
You're going to come up with a problem/question now, which is what we texted about the other day.
I don't know.
Go on.
Oh yeah, no, it is. It must be because I've just gone. Well, so we obviously got the story. The one point where the Celestial sticking out of the water was mentioned was in She-Hulk.
Yes.
In the corner of that newspaper was about a man with blades coming out of his hands.
There you go.
So, adamantium must already exist.
Yeah.
Because Wolverine is already around with...
So, I can't think of a way around that.
No, I can't.
Are we just going to... I mean, do we think this just isn't true?
However,
unless
that gets done in Deadpool and Wolverine and they've come out of their...
What?
Multiverse.
What do you mean?
So what if if they've come out of the Fox multiverse or whatever, where he's found Wolverine, and come into the MCU one, but earlier, could that be a story of because he's
jumping into loads of different timelines? Yeah, Anthony, that's a very, very good workaround.
God, that just hit my head,
fixed it.
I've just done it, fixed it with one little swoop.
Yeah, don't you just thank us straight away, Kevin Feige? But
Call me.
We've solved your problem. / Anthony, but I'm part of it as well, so I'm tagging along.
Okay,
I don't.
That's the only thing I can think.
Forgetting that side of things, it's going to mean that we can't have an MCU Wolverine for a long time unless we're going down the Bone Claws route.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to go down that route because it's a bit boring. You want adamantium Metal Skeleton Wolverine.
Yeah.
But then we have said maybe we need to leave Wolverine for a little bit.
Maybe.
And maybe that's just what they're going to do. We're going to have an X-Men team with, just Cyclops, Jean Grey, Bobby Drake, Iceman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby something, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to check
Bobby.
later. Bobby something, yeah. Maybe just need that X-Men team. Because we've still got Hugh Jackman as Wolverine literally right up until July this year.
Yeah.
So it would still feel a little bit soon introducing a new Wolverine.
Yeah.
If we'd not had Wolverine since Logan, fair play, that's absolutely fine. But it does feel a little bit early to be introducing a new one.
Could it be that we get somebody from a different timeline?
Yeah,
because that would explain why they've got the claws with adamantium if it hasn't been discovered in the MCU.
I think that's a good
universe.
I would imagine they'll just ignore that. I think they'll just ignore the fact that they've already mentioned some dude with metal claws. Because it could be anybody. It could be Freddy Krueger. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be... It could be.
Could you imagine?
It could be. Well, the thing is, T'Challa had metal claws, didn't he? Just all it said was something along the lines of man with metal claws seen in Canada or something stupid like that. So it could literally be anything. It doesn't have to be Wolverine, so they can get around that. I do prefer your idea of having it that Hugh Jackman's Wolverine has just popped up in the MCU.
It's what I've always wanted. I wanted it with Loki as well, where we saw Loki just appear in certain moments throughout the MCU that had already happened, where he shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Not even necessarily in the action, but just outside and
just
being
there,
like, hello.
being in the background.
Like, it had just been a funny little thing. Do you know what I mean? Little Easter egg.
I do like the rumour. I'm not convinced it's going to be entirely true. There's another rumour from My Time to Shine Hello. Let's just do that one now.
Okay.
That was at the end of my news section, but sometimes you just got to roll with the punches, I suppose. So, this I find really hard to believe.
Go on.
This is what we said at the start. According to My Time to Shine Hello, Marvel want The Rock in the MCU as Apocalypse.
Ew,
I don't like it.
No, I don't like it.
Unless it's a cameo in Deadpool. I'm not interested.
No.
I don't really want The Rock in the MCU.
No.
Not even a little bit.
I agree.
And that's not a dig at The Rock.
I really like the roles The Rock has played, but just with news articles that have come out recently about his behaviour and stuff off camera.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
No.
We've had enough. We've had enough already. Enough crap going on in the background.
But it wouldn't surprise me then if they brought him into Deadpool, because one of the news articles is the fact that he doesn't get on with Ryan Reynolds. So if they bring him in as one of these last minute, reshoot cameos as Apocalypse in the background, maybe that's a little bit of putting out fires, as in like, no, he does get on with Ryan Reynolds. Look, he's popping up in Deadpool, which is Ryan's film. Maybe that's where they're going to go. Or maybe this is just somebody wants to have something to tweet.
Maybe.
So he's just tweeted this. I don't know. If it's true, I don't like it. I'm not really interested.
Yeah, no, me either.
No. Who would you have play Apocalypse?
Who would I have play Apocalypse?
Not Oscar Isaac.
No, it's got to be somebody who's not been in.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody. It needs to be somebody. I mean, he didn't really suit my idea of Apocalypse anyway. Apocalypse is like 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
I always think of X-Men cartoon Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Massive. Even the toy, you could extend his legs and arms to make him even taller.
Do you know, I'd be okay with if it was Ron Perlman.
Yeah, kind of like that. It's probably a bit old now.
I know, that's the only thing I was thinking. That's why I was
somebody. Yeah, that would have been quality.
Yeah.
Maybe we just go full on CG. Maybe we just do Thanos and just have
or what if we got the guy who played Mountain in Game of Thrones?
No, he can't act.
He's massive.
He can't act. That's why he didn't have any lines in Game of Thrones. No, I'd rather have The Rock. Rather have The Rock.
Rock over Mountain.
I think we should go, because in the comics and in X-Men, he doesn't look human, does he? Do you know what I mean? Let's just go full on Thanos. Let's just get somebody to do his voice.
Yeah.
Even just bring Josh Brolin back to do
his
voice.
Just don't make him look like Ivan Ooze again.
No. But then it's quite cool at the same time. I appreciate it now. Now that it's not the thing that's actually happening, it's one of them funny memories. Now it's quite funny. Wasn't happy at the time though.
No.
Let's talk Superman. The big news of the week. There's a picture of him right behind you. It's not a suit like that. We got James Gunn revealing David Corenswet.
Yeah.
In costume.
Yeah.
Right. What did you think of the suit before we talk about the actual reveal?
I actually don't mind the suit at all.
I don't mind the suit. But I feel like that's my reaction to it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's all right. It's different.
Superman. Yeah.
I think the struggle is, right, how do you do it differently?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't go the New Adventures of Lois and Clark. You can't go like that look. And I know that's what a lot of people wanted.
Yeah.
But you can't go super bright spandex.
Yeah.
And we've already had like a leathery type looking suit.
Yeah.
This looks more like it's a jacket.
Yeah.
It's loose.
Yeah.
And I don't hate that, but I feel like they've tried to do something different.
Yeah.
But rather than what would look good, they've gone down the route of what can we do that's different. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
and it doesn't look bad. It
No.
doesn't look bad at all. But it's another Superman suit.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah. What
did you think? Right. Before we get into that, right? What did you think of the actual reveal of the suit?
So it was a bit weird.
It is, isn't it? It is weird.
I don't know how else to say it.
It's
just a
birthed the best memes ever.
Yeah.
Some of the memes are
Yeah.
fantastic, but it's just random. It's just like literally like the meme is. It's just them like trying on shoes in a shoe shop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not. I don't know. Is it? I think they're going for
So we're not
he's just a normal dude.
We're not having him going in a phone booth and spinning.
No, I didn't
Or
even
watching
think
him
of
put
that.
his shoes on.
I did, yeah, exactly. It's like 2 seconds, and it's the fact
Give me a
that
minute.
it's the fact that outside there is like Brainiac, I assume, literally blowing up the city, and he's just sitting there like dead lethargic, like I'm coming, wait there, I'm coming, just get my boot on.
Loop.
Where's my
Loop and
shoehorn?
swoop.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it's just a bit of a lackluster reveal.
Yeah.
Again, it's different though. I feel like the whole suit, the reveal of the suit, everything has all been, how can we make this a little bit different?
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just
I think
it is what it is.
Yeah.
It got me thinking. I was thinking this morning. It's like I think the reason I'm not excited is because we've only just moved on from Henry Cavill's Superman.
Yeah.
When was Black Adam? Last year.
Yeah.
That we've literally just got rid of Black Adam's that Henry Cavill Superman last year and was straight on to another Superman again.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue that DC have got. With Marvel, it's been 5 years.
They let things lie a little bit.
But they can let things lie, that's the thing. It's been 5 years since Tony died, so we've not had an Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we've got a new Cap, but the story lends itself to giving us a new Cap, so that's absolutely fine. But we've not got Steve Rogers. I know there's talk that we're gonna have Thor back, but realistically, the main three are now gone, and we're able to, with Marvel, move on to a whole new chapter with all new characters, for better or worse, because it's been a bit crap. But I don't necessarily think that's down to the characters. I think that's down to a load of other things that we talked about already.
Yeah.
The problem you've got with DC is when you have a DC universe, you need a Superman and you need a Batman.
Yeah.
You can't go, let's do the DC universe and we'll leave Superman for 10 years.
Yeah, no.
You can't do it.
No.
And that's the issue. They've
Yeah.
ballsed it up so much, and we need another Superman now. But it feels like we've just said about Wolverine. You don't want a new Wolverine straight away because we've got Hugh Jackman this year.
Yeah.
Marvel have got the opportunity to do that. DC can't do it.
No.
DC just can't do it. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see it in live action.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think that'll be more interesting. I think it'll be a good Superman as well. But yeah, it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
not bad. It's not good. It's just
Such a long way
there.
off though, still, as well, to be fair.
When is it? July
'Cause
next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still a year and a bit away.
Yeah.
We'll have a trailer in like 6 months ish.
To be honest, I was quite surprised that we got the image this early.
I think it's more of a let's get the image out now before it starts leaking. Because if they're going to start filming,
Yeah.
I know they're already filming, but surely at some point there's going to be a set leak of David Corenswet in the suit.
Yeah.
And with it being so different and baggy, etc., because it is, isn't it? It's like a jacket, and it's probably got the red trunks from the looks of it. As well,
like it, doesn't it?
If you'd seen that from some random shitty set photo, people would have gone to town on it. So it's kind of like, well, let's release it our way. Let's do it on our terms.
Yeah.
So they've gone down
Makes
that
sense.
route. Last bit of news. This is breaking like today. Disney and Warner Brothers have joined forces. Have you heard about this?
No.
Yeah. So they are creating it's only a bundle, but they are creating a new streaming bundle. So in America, you are going to be able to get one package now that is Disney Plus and HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
So in the one streaming platform, you're now going to have all your Marvel movies and all your DC movies at the same time.
That's pretty
That's
cool,
a
to be
big
fair.
step.
Yeah, that's massive.
It's not one platform, it's like a bundle. So you
Yeah.
can pay like one fee and you get multiple things. I think you get Hulu Plus in there as well.
Yeah.
But that's Disney and Warner playing nice.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, where's this going?
Yeah.
Are we gonna get a crossover? Because it's been talked about.
Yeah.
And James Gunn said he'd love to do it, but it'd never happen. But
Yeah.
if they're playing nice with where the money is at the end of the day, maybe it's something that could happen. Would you want it? Do you want a movie in either of them? Because it'd be kind of both. Do you really want to see Marvel crossover with James Gunn's DCU?
I think it depends how they do it.
What if it's good or not?
Well, do you know what? I'd be okay if we had technically two movies.
Yeah.
Where there'd been just an entire displacement. So they don't meet each other.
Yeah.
But they end up in each other's worlds.
Okay, I get what you mean, yeah.
So essentially you have the Marvel team fighting DC villains.
Okay.
And the DC team fighting Marvel villains.
Okay.
But they've got no knowledge of anybody.
Yeah.
They just know that these guys are evil and they've got to do something.
Yeah, I get that.
And then figure out, get them back.
See, that sounds really cool. It does actually sound... It's better than what I thought they could possibly do with it. I'll be really honest. That does sound really good.
Yeah.
But I'm going to sound really, really miserable. I don't want it. I just don't want it.
I wouldn't mind it. Like, as I say, you'd have to do the two movies because you'd have to have the DC
one of course.
And the Marvel one. I think it'd be interesting as like a fan service, but
I think it'd be interesting.
But that'd just need to be the end of it then.
It just screams of desperation.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, DC, they probably would have gone for it 10 years ago, to be perfectly honest, because they'd never really got traction with it.
Yeah.
But for Marvel, the absolute behemoth that Marvel Disney is, to start crossing over with DC just says, we've fucked this up now. We know we can't sell tickets, so what? Let's get Superman in a Marvel movie.
I'd find it quite funny, like, Iron Man is in Wayne Mansion or something. And there's just jokes about the fact that they're both just billionaires. It
just feels cheap.
Do you know what I mean?
I know.
Like, I get it. I get it. And it's doing it to make more money, isn't it?
It is,
That's literally all it's for.
Yeah.
But if you know that it's just kind of like I don't know, just a one-off, I'd be like, okay, this is quite funny and I can get behind this. But then once they get back, that's it. It's done. You don't no more crossovers.
No, I know. I just don't want it. I know that sounds really miserable. I'm being sensible. The full-on kid in me is like, yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Watching Superman fight Hulk. I just don't want it, though.
I mean, I think it'd be really cool because, like, maybe one of them's struggling more than the other. So, for example, the Marvel team defeat whatever villain that they're up against or villains that they're up against in the DC universe.
Yeah.
They manage to find their way back. And then, just at the end of their movie... literally, like, looks like someone could be dying or is dead from the DC. But then you don't know anymore until the DC film comes out, and then that's when you find out what happened to get them to that point.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like, there's different ways that you could do it. I just don't know.
No. No, not for me, thank you.
Sorry.
I don't like it. Your idea, I do like the idea. I like the idea, and I want that film. But I don't want that film.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it. I just feel like it'd just ruin everything.
Yeah.
I feel like Marvel's hopefully now getting back on track. It'd feel like a last-ditch attempt to stay relevant. Yeah. It would feel like the MCU is dying. We can't sell tickets. We can't get another $1 billion movie, so let's throw Superman in there.
Yeah.
I just don't, No, don't like it.
Okay.
No, not for me. Thank you very much. That's it for news. I sound really miserable. I just don't want it. I don't. I'm being honest.
No,
I just
that's
don't
fair.
want it. I don't want it. Should we talk X-Men 2?
Yes.
The review.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about in this movie. More than I remembered.
Yeah, same.
But this is similar to Spider-Man, like we did last week. I remember this being a great movie. But there were so many moments where I was like, I forgot that happened, and stuff like that. It's not as good a movie as Spider-Man 2. It's not. It's just not it's not the same caliber. But there's I think it's bordering on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's nothing, like we said with Spider-Man, there's nothing in it that necessarily feels wasted.
Yeah.
It's all like strategically put together, which is good for a Bryan Singer Foxverse movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Considering how much downhill it goes in number 3. We'll break it down. We'll break down scenes and stuff like that. But what do you think? Does it hold up?
I think it does.
I think it does.
Do you know what? I sat and I watched it and I went, I forgot how much I enjoyed this. But I also looked at it because obviously with watching X-Men 97 and stuff, the difference in the characters.
Yes, I think...
I picked up a lot on this.
Yeah.
I might say something controversial now.
Go for it.
It made me enjoy Halle Berry's Storm less.
I don't think Halle Berry's Storm ever really did anything big anyway.
I never really compared it to anything before.
No.
Whereas now that... I mean, last time I watched this was, 2000, 2002, really? Whatever it was that it came out.
Yeah.
When, like I say, properly watched it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've probably seen it since, but it's been on in the background or something.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Sitting actually watching it, 12, 13 years old.
Okay.
So, I'm now in my 30s and I'm watching these and kind of into it a lot more than I was back then.
Yeah.
So, things like Halle Berry's portrayal of Storm, I'm a bit disappointed.
Bit mopey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just
bit like
a bit of a wet lettuce.
Yeah.
And it sounds horrible.
No, it does. When you see how much of a strong character she is.
And there's nothing like that in the way she speaks to people, in her presence.
No.
There's none of that there.
She's like, right, and this isn't... Take out how you will.
She's a force to be reckoned with.
She's a queen in X-Men 97 and the original X-Men. She's a queen, and in this, she's just somebody who's kind of there and got a little bit arsey. But even her character, in X-Men 1, she has 3 lines.
Yeah,
and puts on like a different accent to what she's got. Yeah, she's not got an American accent in number 1. She puts on some sort of accent in number 1, and then she goes back to just normal American. She's got a lot more lines. There's a lot more character depth to her in X2, but I don't feel like she gets the proper or close to the character that we recognise Storm as until number 3, and that's probably one of the only things that gets better in number 3 compared to this. But no,
and then her only other appearance after that was Days of Future Past, and
I don't feel like
she was pregnant, wasn't she?
Yeah, but she was only in the opening, wasn't she?
Well, because she couldn't do the stunts.
Right,
because she was pregnant.
Yeah.
So she was literally in a scene, and then we didn't see her again.
No.
And that was why.
No, she wasn't very good.
No, it was just a bit of a...
Which is weird because, again, if you look at the
I remember
the cover,
looking back and really
it's Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry,
and
then the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
And she's not... I feel like they just kind of made up bits for her to do.
Yeah, I feel like her name carried it more than what her actual...
Yeah. She's not a bad actress, Halle Berry.
No, she's not at all.
She's good.
I like Halle Berry. I've seen her in a lot of things that I've really enjoyed, but this is
not Catwoman.
No, not Catwoman. Maybe she should just stay away from superheroes.
I feel like there's more to her in Catwoman. I actually do.
Do you?
There was more character depth in Catwoman than this.
I feel like in Catwoman she was just kind of thingy and Eartha Kitt's version of Catwoman.
Yeah. You're not going to do the accent. You're going to do the impression again.
No.
That's Patreon. I think the issue that you've got is with Halle Berry's character is that in X-Men 1, it fleshed out these characters for us. We got to know Jean Grey in X-Men 1. We got to know Cyclops in X-Men 1, Wolverine, Professor X, Rogue, even Bobby Drake a little bit, to be fair, in X-Men 1. And literally, Iceman had more lines in X-Men 1 than Storm did.
Yeah.
I swear. I mean, I might be wrong, but it feels like he had more lines in X-Men 1 than Storm did. And she was a very quiet character in the movie, clearly, because she hardly said anything. And then in number 2, you go into the movie with these characters, with us already knowing these characters.
Yeah.
But then you give us a Halle Berry Storm who's nothing like Halle Berry Storm in X-Men number 1, but don't give us any growth into it. She's just all of a sudden this slightly different character who, as we said, is a bit mopey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the only negative of the movie?
Yeah. Is it the only negative? I think it is.
Yeah.
Because
it was a bit cheesy.
It is a bit cheesy.
It's cheesy,
But I mean, that's what they were like, wasn't it?
Mm.
You had your cheesy one-liners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was the same, to be honest.
Yeah, it was. I think it did it better.
Yeah.
Did it much better.
I forgot how much I enjoyed Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Okay.
Now, I know that we've been excited because he's coming back to do it one more time anyway. But, this is his early portrayal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before he was like 7 movies in and really into it, and
it's before. I still feel like it's before he got to grips with Wolverine, because he's not the Wolverine from Days of Future Past or even X-Men 3. I feel like X-Men 3 got that character of Wolverine and went like, this is what Wolverine is.
Yeah,
and this was kind of getting to that character. But yeah, Hugh Jackman's absolutely brilliant in this.
Yeah, and Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart's amazing in it as well.
Like,
I don't feel like they had that much to do.
Again, he's not like the Professor X.
No.
In the cartoon. But I actually think Professor X in the cartoon is a bit of a knob.
Okay.
So I actually like the version that Patrick Stewart portrays better.
Yeah. He is just Professor X to me. He's Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Even the cartoon, even X-Men 97, it's like it's a cartoon version of Patrick Stewart. It's just Patrick. Whereas Magneto's not.
No.
So Ian McKellen is I love Ian McKellen.
Can I just say, Ian McKellen is my favourite human.
Yeah, he is. He's great.
And I loved him as Magneto.
Yeah, I did, but I'm
know.
not feeling it as much now. I don't know why. I think it's because of X-Men 97.
Do you?
Yeah. I feel like when I was a kid and I watched X-Men 96, 92, whatever, I didn't really watch it that in depth.
Yeah.
So Magneto was just the baddie and I didn't really know much about him and I didn't know what his character was like. And then and then my idea of Magneto was Ian McKellen's Magneto.
Yeah.
And now that I've seen X-Men 97, I'm more like, I like that Magneto.
But
this is very different.
I think the writing has been better for...
Of course.
97 than it was for Magneto's character.
Definitely.
Anyway. And I think that's what the difference is. I think had Ian McKellen been given that level of
I still don't think he could have done that.
Do you not?
No,
I do.
I don't think he's the right actor for that type of Magneto.
Don't you?
No.
No, I think he could have done it.
I think he's more of a... I know Magneto in X-Men 97 is not like... I mean, he is. He's pretty buff, like, do you know what I mean? But it's not about his physical strength. It's about his power and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Ian McKellen is more of an intelligence type of Magneto. A lot more snidey, lot more clever, basically.
Yeah.
Probably a lot more evil, to be fair, as to how he pulls it, as to how he sort of does it. But he's a completely different character. It's apart from the fact that he can control metal, he's a completely different character. And like, I think you've got certain actors who, like, if you look at in X-Men 97, if he's doing something, and we're getting into spoilers, sorry. If you get into X-Men 97 where like he's like shutting off all the power on Earth with his abilities, Ian McKellen doesn't sell that to me. I know in X-Men 3 like he lifts up the bridge, but it doesn't feel, somehow it still doesn't feel like he's performing some amazing feat because he's quite subdued with it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a bit understated.
Yeah. And that's not a bad thing. That's that character, but that's how he's portrayed that character. But as much as I appreciate it, I don't...
There's a calmness about him.
Yeah.
Whereas Magneto in X-Men 97 is more chaotic.
Yeah, but he's not as serious either. Ian McKellen. No. It's like I could see him like getting a bridge full of people, crushing all the cars with loads of people in them, and then turning around to Mystique and going, "Look what we just did." Do you know what I mean? He's got that sort of like funny, sinister thing to him.
I didn't feel that with it.
I do, like with it when he was like when him and Mystique were laughing at Rogue for her hair and going, "Oh, we like your haircut." Do you know what I mean? It's like that. X-Men 97 Magneto would not have that in him.
Yeah. But again, I think that's the writing rather than...
I know. And it's a different character.
Yeah.
X-Men 97 Magneto, clearly he's a baddie. I don't see him as evil.
No, I don't. I completely understand him.
He's not evil.
I've kind of been on his side a lot.
Yeah. He's doing things in the wrong way. And... he doesn't come across as he's doing anything to be bad to people. And when he is killing people, I feel like X-Men 97 Magneto has a bit of a, I don't really want to be doing this, but this is what I need to do to look after me and to look after mutant kind. Whereas I feel like Ian McKellen's Magneto is evil.
Right, okay.
I feel like there's a different... it just doesn't... I'm not slagging off his Magneto.
No.
I feel like it's a different character.
Yeah.
I feel like it's an entirely different character.
Yeah.
What other characters do you want to talk? Do you want to talk some scenes? let's do a character and a scene at the same time. The opening scene to X-Men 2.
Okay.
With Nightcrawler in the Oval Office.
Loved it.
It's so well done.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It's 20 years old.
Yeah.
And I know we talked about the CG in Spider-Man 2 not necessarily holding up brilliantly.
This held up.
This is absolutely spot on.
Held up.
If they made that now in the MCU, I'd be like, that's great. I wouldn't be like, the CG shit. That's better than a lot of recent Marvel CGI.
Yeah.
That was so good. And what an introduction to the character.
Yes. Brilliant.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't even see like his full face until like the very end when he gets the knife. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You just see like the little smile and the fangs and the blue, the blue skin. Yeah. But first you see him as in like, he's got like face paint on, I assume, and he's part of the, because he's white at first, isn't he? Got human skin.
I don't think it was like, I think you could see that there was like there was
a blue tinge to it, but it wasn't. But it wasn't blue.
Yeah. But no, I thought it was brilliantly put together, and the speed of it as well.
Yes.
Like, it was just brilliant, and obviously like that's your introduction to the entire film, and it's just that knife then next to the president saying what was it? What did it say? Something about freedom. For mutants or something like that. Yeah, wasn't it? So it was just like that one scene has told you what to expect for that movie.
Yeah.
Like, you know now that this is about the mutants fighting for their freedom.
Yeah, 100%.
That and that's all you need to begin with. Like, I can go, well, there's the synopsis of the film, so let's just get into it now. We don't need introductions. We don't need to drag the story out. We know that this is what's happening. This is what we're going for.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed with that, to be fair.
And it's straight in your face. It's quite dark's probably not the right word. It's intense.
Yeah.
It's like, right, we're not going to do a slow build up.
No.
Shit's just got real in the opening 2 minutes.
One mutant has gotten right to the president.
Yeah, exactly.
And
didn't even think of it that way. It's like it's the president. It's Secret Service. He's the most protected man in the entire world. And this guy has just blitzed past every single one of them in seconds.
Yeah.
To the point where he's got a knife above the president's head about to stab him and kill him.
Yeah.
It's just,
it's really
quality.
good.
It's such a good scene. It's not even the fact that it looks really good, which it does. It's just a well thought out.
Yeah.
A really well thought out
scene.
Very,
very clever.
Another scene that's dead good, which I remember because I watched this with Jake.
Yeah.
And I was telling him about it before any of this. Before I even told him about the Nightcrawler scene.
Yeah.
It was the attack on the school.
Yes.
So Stryker sent his guys in to basically go and round up as many of the mutant kids as possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, they all get away.
Yeah.
And it ends up being Logan basically taking on all these soldiers.
Yeah.
And again, my understanding of X-Men 2, X-Men 1, X-Men 3 even, was that they were very, very kiddie films.
Oh, they're not.
This was brutal.
No.
And I told Jake it was, but I didn't remember how brutal it was.
The thing is, like, with a lot of the mutants, you can get away with people getting hurt, but it not being particularly gory.
Yeah.
But Wolverine, his only option is to slice people.
I know.
Like, literally rip them apart.
I know.
And that's what you get
in the movie. But it's not the only option, because literally, think about it. If Wolverine, like that first fella he walked in, came in the kitchen, started shooting up the kitchen, literally 2 claws straight through his chest into the fridge.
Yeah.
That was just like full on like murder.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It is what it is, isn't it? But Wolverine, and I feel like in your standard kids film, he would have he could have just knocked him out. Well, adamantium fists. He could have just hit him once and he would have been out like a light.
Yeah.
And that's how, we watched, because I've been watching all these old films with Jake, we watched like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Right.
And at no point in that movie did the Turtles use their weapons against anybody.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We've got sais, swords, even the nunchucks. No, not at all. Michelangelo was about to use his nunchucks and then goes and gets 2 sausages and starts hitting people with sausages as well, because they can't. Because it was a kids' film, even though they've got their weapons and it's what they're famous for.
Yeah.
They wouldn't use it. They didn't want to see the turtles stabbing people and chopping the foot's heads off and stuff like that. So to then get, I know it's years later, but then to get this where Wolverine is just literally straight up murdering people all over a school.
Yeah.
I remembered it, but I didn't remember it as being as graphic. Like when the guy comes around the corner, he just puts his claws right through his foot.
Yeah.
Jake was like, what is my dad getting me to watch here? It was he enjoyed it, to be fair, which is probably I need to check that. But he really enjoyed it. But even he felt, you could see he was like, I shouldn't be watching this. This is great. Do you know what I mean? It's more than I should normally get away with.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole scene. And again, it sold the severity of it.
Yeah.
It's like, these guys are attacking a school. They've got tranquilizer darts, clearly. But to the point where Wolverine is having to kill these people.
Yeah.
Like, literally right in front of you. Dead good scene.
And again, like, all the kids having their own different powers and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, you've got Kitty running through the walls.
Yeah.
You've got that kid that does the deafening scream.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Colossus. Just turn, literally.
Yeah. Just change it. Like, I really enjoyed that whole scene.
Yeah.
And even down to the Logan being told by Stryker that obviously...
Oh, yeah, because that's when he found out. Yeah.
And all this, and he's like, hang on, what? And then Bobby obviously puts the ice wall
up,
in between and stuff like that. Like, I just thought... And it was the... I can't even remember how it was worded, but Logan basically was like, I need to be here. And she said, and then Rogue just said to him, but we need you.
Yeah.
And that's what pulled him to leave.
Yeah.
And I like that.
No, it was good. And they've still got that relationship, haven't they? Like him and Rogue. It's like very much like a father-daughter relationship going 100%. On with
them. And then, see, I love Bobby as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I really like the character of Bobby. And I feel like we've had a little bit of a similarity between him and... I can't remember the guy's name in X-Men 97. The whole thing about family. Not accepting him and all
Roberto.
Of that kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's a bit of...
That was really good, that whole scene at the house.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that. And the brother's absolute jealousy that his brother's got the power and he didn't and all that kind of stuff.
Did you just go straight to jealousy with that?
I went straight to jealousy.
See, I've never even thought of it that way.
Haven't
until
you
said jealousy. No, I thought it was more of a fear thing. But now that you've said it, it's I get that completely.
Oh, no, yeah. I got that straight away.
No, I've never seen it as jealousy.
You're jealous of your brother because he's got this power and you haven't.
Yeah, okay.
And so you've called the police on him to be an absolute prick.
Okay, yeah. I like that more than how I've always just seen it as, because the parents are like quite clearly scared. It's like...
Yeah.
I don't even know if they say, have you ever tried not being a mutant? Do they say that to him?
Something like that.
Or is that from something else?
It
but
could
it's
be.
The same.
It's that same thing.
That's the vibe, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, which again is dead foreign to me, because I just don't get why. It's like they seem quite happy when it's like, when he goes off at the end, it's like, yeah, good riddance sort of thing. And that's probably a bit too fakey for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe any parent would legit be like that.
But then the whole reason that this is a thing is because people are using the experience of like sexuality and stuff. So the guy who wrote X-Men 97 has been quite open about it, for example.
Yeah.
That he uses these experiences of people kind of with different sexualities and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
To kind of relate people to the mutants.
Yeah.
And that's heavily how the story of Roberto was.
I get what you mean,
like that same thing.
I get what you're going now.
I've seen stuff where parents have gone, can you just try not being gay?
Yeah, I get it.
So it's literally the exact same thing.
Still completely foreign to me.
Yeah.
Still, because I just can't imagine being like that. Does that make sense?
See, again, I'm somebody personally who's been quite lucky in that I've been accepted and all that kind of stuff. But I've got friends who were physically kicked out of their homes and stuff like that. And, I'm a generation where, these kids are coming out kind of early 2000s. So you're talking like 2005.
Yeah.
So it's not that long ago.
No.
No, 90s was a fairly big turning point.
Yeah.
For gays and stuff like that to begin with, but like even then to know that people were still being kicked out, kind of,
it's nuts.
Early 2000s, it's mental. So, so it's a massive factor, and he made a point of saying, and I don't know if you know, but there's been more stories about, that he left before it got aired, didn't he?
Bo DeMeo.
Yeah.
I still don't know.
So it's now
happened.
saying that they've parted ways.
Yeah.
Kind of trying to be pally-pally.
Something big has happened there.
So the rumour that's going round is that somebody has been derogatory to him.
Okay.
And he's just gone, I refuse to work with you.
Okay.
And
I've heard
that's
the opposite side.
Have you?
Because I saw, and I don't know what's happened. I've not really got.
This is all completely speculation.
I've not really got into this, but I saw something where somebody put a comment on something to do with X-Men 97, saying Bodemayo has done an absolutely phenomenal job. Marvel should be kicking themselves that they've let him go, all that sort of stuff. I don't care what's happened. I don't care all this sort of stuff. Marvel need to get him back. And then somebody, I can't remember who it was, but somebody in more does what we do, but more in depth, has like studio connections and stuff like that, said, you won't be saying, oh, but I'm going to bookmark this for when it all comes out what he did and see if you still think the same way then.
Okay.
So, I don't know, but you don't know whether these people have got it, even know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? You get these scoopers who come up with these things and go, I'm 100% sure this is happening and stuff like that, and it's not. So you don't know, and it could have just been something that they've heard, but it does make, at the same time, it makes me think either he has completely walked away, like you just said, or he has legitimately done something extremely bad, because X-Men 97 is just one of the best Marvel projects
this
I've
is the
seen
thing.
in a long
so
time.
The reason that people are thinking that it's something along those lines is because he's literally tweeting as the episodes are coming out.
I know,
stuff.
so he's still involved
so
in it.
So he's proud of the work and all that kind of stuff. So it's not like he's disgruntled in some way. No. So that's
he's
why
promoting this.
Yeah. That's
he's
why
got a big following. He's promoting this project.
That's why the rumor is that somebody's said or done something that's upset him to the point where he didn't feel like he could be there anymore.
I could see that.
So I don't know if it's true, but that's just what I've heard. But it makes me, I mean, if it is accurate, then it's showing how much of an advocate he is for diversity and stuff, which is brilliant, and which is what you need for something like X-Men, because it's all about mutants, it's all about diversity.
They've nailed it.
Yeah, 100%.
I know we're not here to talk about X-Men 97.
It's not going
perfect.
Overboard in any way, and you're not feeling woke
it's
with
not
anything.
Being shoved down
but
your
it's
throat.
also diverse enough that it's intriguing everybody. And it's that perfect balance at the moment, and that's what I'm really enjoying about it.
I know.
So, but I think that's what the reason I'm saying all of this is because I feel
that's
like
that's
X-Men,
the vibe.
Like the movies were also trying to touch on that as well, and I feel like they were starting to do that quite nicely. In X2. So that's why that scene kind of meant quite a lot to me. And again, you obviously then got it starts Pyro's storyline as well.
That's amazing, that,
because he's literally walking down that plank.
Yeah,
and he could go either way. And I like the fact that you have that all the way through. You can see he's having a battle with himself. You can see that he doesn't want to hurt the other mutants and things like that. But he feels too betrayed.
Yeah.
And I love that whole story.
Yeah.
And I don't think they used him enough.
No, I don't. And they jumped.
He could be a massive bad if he wanted to be.
And
I don't think it got utilised in the best way.
Yeah.
Not pulling away from the storyline or anything like that, but I just think that there were some missed opportunities with him.
A bit more character development.
Yeah.
Before he just went, because he just went straight on evil in number 3.
Yeah.
He had the turn, and I get that, but it was, by the time he went to number 3, it was just like, this dude's a full-blown supervillain now.
Yeah.
And we didn't see that arc, but that was just the Fox X-Men movies, and they jumped all over the place. There was no continuity or anything like that. Logan getting shot in the head, amazing. Yeah,
love it.
So good.
The way the bullet comes back out, and
exactly, just pure demonstration,
and the look on the policeman's face.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what? Just so good.
Another scene that I haven't even written down, but it is one of the next scenes, and it kind of goes back to what I said before about Magneto, but Magneto breaking out of the plastic prison with the 3 ball bearings.
Yeah.
It just all felt a little bit silly.
Do you think?
Yeah, especially when he's floating along like a genie, like he's just come out of a lamp in a pantomime. Do you know what I mean? With his arms up really high. You know exactly what I mean.
No, I get what you mean, but I really enjoyed that scene.
I just don't think I would have done it the way that they did it.
The intelligence thing, like you said, it's his intelligence and stuff, making sure that guy's got extra iron in his blood so that he takes it from him.
And do you know what? I was all right with it all until that point. I don't think we needed the Magneto I would have wanted wouldn't have made the snarky comment and be like, oh, you've got too much iron in your blood. Do you know what I mean? Like getting a Bane type thing. And then the when he put the plate on the floor and he is floating along and he's got his arms he's got his arms crossed like really high, and it just looks stupid.
Yeah.
And then just how he like he's just too calm with it.
Yeah.
Does that what I mean? Do you get what I mean?
I get what you mean.
For the power.
I find it unsettling that he's that calm. So I like it.
What, like in a scary way?
Yeah.
No, I don't like it. I would have just liked to see him looking like when he's got that, once he's detected it.
Yeah.
Rather than necessarily like, I mean, I don't mind like the bit of the smirk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like it's all not a problem for him and too cool. But like you said, very, very calm and subdued.
Yeah.
I would have liked it to be more like in X-Men 97. Again, I won't say exactly what happens, but when he's doing what he does at the end of the last episode, it's
chaotic.
Yeah, and it's like, look at my power, and he's fuming and he's angry when he does it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it should have been that, or at least a bit more sinister. And then when he's wrecking the whole place, it should have been like, like Super Saiyan powering up. Do you know what I mean? Like proper anger, wind all over. I know he's not controlling the wind, but that sort of thing. And then when he's flying out of the cage, it should have been more to it. Not really calm, looking like a genie of the lamp sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's just not.
I get what you mean.
I
liked it because I found it unsettling.
Even when I was a kid, I found that silly.
Did you?
Yeah,
I was
even
like, think about it. If I'm honest,
what's he doing? Why is he doing the stupid thing? Yeah, I mean, it was cool. It was a cool scene, but I didn't like it. I'm just thinking of the big scenes that I remember. When this one was one of the biggest ones I remember when I actually went to watch this. I wasn't a kid. I was like late teens.
Yeah.
When the Blackbird gets shot by the missile.
Yes.
And the back of it blows out.
Yeah.
And Rogue gets dragged out the back, and then Nightcrawler appears and grabs her.
Yeah.
At the time, I just remember thinking that is like the best scene ever.
Yeah.
Chills when that happened the first time. I remember going to watch this with my mate Tom, who I've not seen in like 15 years. But me and him were like, oh my God, this is absolutely amazing. Do you know what I mean? So I think when it happened. And obviously leading into, again, the power that Magneto's got. Yeah. Pulling that thing down and going from there.
So we haven't really touched on Cyclops and Jean Grey.
Yeah, okay.
And their relationship.
Okay.
And
Cyclops
the
is still
kind
mopey.
Of love triangle with
still
Wolverine.
Mopey. Still mopey.
I think they're all a bit mopey, to be honest.
That's just what it was about, like, in 2000.
But I love Femke as Jean Grey.
I didn't like her as much in number one, because I watched number one and then number two.
Right, okay.
So did Jake. And I remember watching in number one, I was like, I remember there being more to her as a character than this. Does that make sense? And then I got to number two and I was like, okay, this is where that character comes from. There's a lot more to her in number two. Number one, she was kind of just there. She was just Jean Grey. But yeah, she had a bit more of a confidence to her in number two. And I think she was absolutely great. Yeah.
I really enjoyed her.
Yeah.
And this is why I was like, I'd love to see Femke back in that role, even if it was just like a cameo, just a little one-off for Deadpool v Wolverine. Like, I would love it.
But that one, X-Men 2, X-Men 2 Jean Grey, not one, not three.
Not Phoenix.
No, because they just didn't, again, it wasn't Jean Grey.
No.
Again, they gave us this great character in number two, and then just made her a different character in number three. And I get it, but she was Phoenix all the way through until like the last 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And it wasn't good. We're not here to talk about X-Men 3 though. But I feel like we should do a bad movie review of X-Men 3.
I don't want to.
Got the energy.
No.
What?
I like number 3.
Shut up.
And this is the only time I'm ever going to say it, and I don't want to talk about it ever again.
You like number 3?
I liked The Last Stand. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why?
Sorry. I just liked it.
Oh, I didn't like it. Yeah, but when did you last watch it?
A while ago.
Yeah, I bet if you watched it now, you'd go, what is this?
I don't know.
You should watch it.
I know, but...
Do you not want to ruin your memory in case you watch it?
Do you know what?
And you
Sometimes
think, wow,
I watch
garbage.
the third one of a movie and everyone goes, I hated that. And I go, I actually really enjoyed it. The biggest one that I have that with is Pirates of the Caribbean.
I can't remember.
I really loved it, World's End, and loads of people absolutely slated it. So I was really gutted because I was like, I actually can't think of a better movie. I was like, I watched it that many times. I had the CD soundtrack. I had everything.
Can't remember it.
And I loved it. But loads of people said they hated it. But I don't know. I just seem to enjoy the third one of a trilogy quite a lot. And a lot of people don't.
I just didn't like Star Stand. Do you know what? I'm similar with that, which I didn't even know until about a couple of years ago that people don't like. Apparently, people don't like Ghostbusters 2.
Oh?
Apparently that's shit. Ghostbusters 1's amazing and Ghostbusters 2's like not very good. I like Ghostbusters 2. I prefer Ghostbusters 2 to Ghostbusters 1 if I'm very honest.
Yeah.
like Ghostbusters 2.
That painting scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, and me. That scene in the do you know what loads of things get? We're on to Ghostbusters 2 now, guys. When they're in the train tunnel and Winston turns around and you get Winston, and he turns around, all the heads are on the spikes.
Yeah.
It terrified the shit out of me as a kid. And the worst bit was when Janosch is like the baby, as like the ghost maid, comes to rob Oscar, and his eyes zooms in on his face and his eyes glow. Literally just nightmares.
Really?
Couldn't watch it when that used to come out. It was always on like ITV or something. And when that used to come on, I used to close my eyes and cover my eyes. It's like 17 sat there with your eyes closed. It still gives me a bit creeps now, though. Not that it's scary, but I still remember how scared I was when I see that when I watch Ghostbusters 2 now.
Oh God.
Yeah. Anyway, Cyclops.
Cyclops.
He was there.
Yeah.
I feel what bad writing for Cyclops.
I know.
James Marsden's a good actor. James Marsden, we were on the right one this time. Marsden.
Yeah.
James Marsden's a good actor. Not great. Although, I mean, he might be. I've just never seen him do anything other than Sonic and
Hairspray. He was in
Cyclops.
Hairspray.
Yeah, but he wasn't really acting his arse off in
and
Hairspray,
he did a chick flick as well.
Oh, 27 Dresses?
Yeah.
Benny and the Jet at the bar. Remember?
Yeah.
There you go.
And he was in...
I've never seen it.
And
he was in what?
Enchanted.
He wasn't Enchanted.
He
was good in that.
You start singing and all the cyclists.
I've just never seen him.
Funny, that scene.
I feel like any time I've seen him try and do a serious role, it's been very not memorable.
Yeah.
Superman. Superman Returns with Brandon Routh. He was Lois Lane's husband.
James Marsden.
Yeah. Flies the plane at the end.
Superman 2.
Superman Returns with Brandon Routh. When they redid Superman with Kevin Spacey's Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like Superman 4 or something. Yeah.
Oh.
James Marsden's in that. When he does serious, he's not memorable at all.
No.
I can't actually think of anything. Yeah, we've got IMDb.
It has to be like a little bit melodramatic or something for him to... Like, because... Yeah, he's always like a big character in... Like, I'm going to say a big character, I don't mean like how many lines he's got. I'm talking like a big personality.
Yeah.
For it to do anything.
I can't actually think. I'm looking on his IMDb now. I can't really see much. I mean, he's done loads of movies, but I can't see anything where it was sort of like memorable.
Yeah.
Where he was in Anchorman 2. I didn't know that. I can't.
Oh yeah, he was in the park scene when they all fight.
Oh yeah, I remember that one now. Hop. Again, it was comedy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Modern Family, comedy, funny role. He was the dude in the hot tub, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Enchanted. Yeah, Superman. Richard White. Yeah, he's just not... Yeah, he's... Don't know. I just don't think they gave the character enough.
No.
They just didn't. They didn't. And the fact that they killed him off, spoilers in number 3 in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
They just didn't respect that character. And again, when you look at what they've done with him in X-Men 97...
Yeah.
It's just, what a good character that you've
got
there.
100%.
Absolutely wasted.
Yeah.
Should we do a couple of scenes again?
Yes.
Wolverine versus Lady Deathstrike.
I really enjoyed that scene.
Another brutal
I forgot.
Scene.
Yeah. I'd forgotten that's how he got her. And...
What is this movie? Is this a 15?
I don't know.
Because that was violent.
It was violent.
That was very violent.
And I love the noise as she hits the bottom of the tank.
Clunk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because the metal in her.
Yeah. Jake loved that as well.
Did he?
Yeah. It was very much like I shouldn't be watching this movie.
The only thing that I would say, scientifically...
Yeah.
She went down to the bottom of the tank slower than I would have expected based on the weight that she was.
Yeah.
She was a lot more dense than
clunk.
that if it was metal. Yeah. And for the clunk that it got, she should have gone down quicker.
How many times can you say clunk on a podcast?
But I very much enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very, very good fight.
I really, really did as well, yeah. Especially because at the time, you're not supposed to, or the general audience isn't supposed to really know. It's a 12. The general audience isn't really supposed to know what she's necessarily about.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I knew who she was going into it even at the time when I watched this.
Yeah.
And to have like the Wolverine claws, which must wreck coming out your fingertips.
Yeah.
But to have that be the payoff to it.
Yeah.
Was great in itself. But then, as I said, that fight was it was dead brutal. I can't believe it was only a 12. I'm very honest, because it was very violent. And again, the kill at the end, it was that moment though, because obviously she's all the way through this movie, she's been cold as ice.
Yeah.
No lines. I don't think she'd said one word throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
But she's got no lines, but that kind of sold she's just evil. And I know we knew she was under Stryker's control.
Yeah.
But it's that moment when, once he's plugged all the adamantium into her, the eyes go black. And you can see the look of, I know what's happened. I've seen all this happening. I've got no control. And now you've killed me. And like pure horror. And it kind of brought it right back from, fun, stupid action to, oh my God, you've just murdered this lady. Yeah. And she wasn't even doing it. It wasn't her. It was Stryker basically controlling her sort of thing. And it's quite dark.
It was.
In that way. Yeah. Again, I keep going back to Jake. Even Jake picked up on that.
Yeah.
Jake was like, has she gone back to normal now? And I was like, yeah, poor Jake. Yeah, probably shouldn't let him watch this, to be fair. He's 11. It's a 12. He's fine. Let's talk Stryker. We've talked about Stryker.
Brilliant villain.
Brian Cox.
I thought Brian Cox was that physicist that talks about how good everything is.
He is that physicist who talks about how good everything is. They're both Brian Cox.
Oh.
He says, yeah, Brian Cox. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm right. Yeah, both Brian Cox.
Okay.
I just said Cox lots.
And I'm the gay one.
Exactly. What a good buddy.
I know.
And again, he doesn't really do anything.
No.
But he's proper evil.
Yeah.
Mental.
Yes.
Screw loose completely.
100%.
In a position of very, very, very high up power.
Yeah.
And he's just nuts.
Yeah.
He's got a vendetta against mutants, even though his son is a mutant, which is horrendous.
Yeah.
But
right, was the son the same actor that played the grown-up version of the Sixth Sense kid?
Oh, I don't.
No, not the grown-up version of the Sixth Sense kid, but
the
guy, the one at the beginning.
The guy who murders him.
Yeah.
Spoilers. I don't know.
I wonder if it was the same
Keep talking,
actor.
I'll find out.
But the way that whole thing went with him and controlling Professor X and Cerebra and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like first trying to find all the mutants, and then it was like, no, go to all the people and then just start killing them. I was like, Jesus Christ, like how quickly has this machine that's supposed to help everyone become weaponized? Like, just to destroy absolutely everything.
Yeah.
It just, the stakes were so high in the movie, and I think that's what really made it as well. Because not only did you have that, you had the whole underground base of Stryker and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then because of the thing with Cyclops and everything.
Oh, he got Cyclops on his side at one point, didn't he?
Yeah,
I forgot that.
And then you've got the actual explosion that happens in the dam, which then starts to cause it to all fall apart.
And he's just bailed on everybody.
Yeah,
Stryker. It's just he's just completely left
like
absolutely everybody. Yeah.
And then I love how he literally got chained to it.
Again, really, really brutal.
Dark, yeah.
Like chain over his face, just been like, just left for dead completely.
Honestly, I was watching that and I was like, just shift your head a little bit. Like I
know, it doesn't look comfortable.
I know. Yeah. I mean, it's not supposed to be comfortable.
No, I know, but you could.
But like, I was like, you could. You probably could have got away with that.
He was doing it for dramatic effect. He's like, well, I'm gonna look as uncomfortable as I bloody can. Maybe he'll move me. But yeah, such a good baddie.
Yeah.
Sold it really, really well. He's such a good actor, Brian Cox.
Yeah.
But yeah, pure. He was just evil. Just completely couldn't reason with him. Didn't get the logic or anything like that. He was just a complete nuts, which normally I don't like.
Yeah.
And then I know you could understand. You sort of understood his logic.
Yeah.
But you normally with a good bad guy, it's like Thanos or something like that. You get it and you can see where he's coming from. And even though I understood what he thought was going on, he didn't even have logic. It was just all nuts. He was just he was just clearly a very evil man who just wanted to kill something.
Yeah.
And he just attached himself to mutants.
Yeah.
Obviously, the fact that his son was a mutant didn't help. Yeah. He wasn't in The Sixth Sense.
Also, wasn't he?
No, he was in Batman and Robin though.
Oh, okay.
He was Antonio Diego in Batman and Robin. Don't know who that
Whoever that is. Mystique.
Yeah, had a little bit more to do in this.
She did.
Than number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rebecca Romaine.
Yes.
We actually saw her as Rebecca Romaine in the bar.
We did.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that we got to see her as how she looks.
She's in number 3 as well, isn't she, when she loses her powers?
Yeah.
The whole thing with Logan in the tent, it's like she's like besotted with Wolverine.
Yeah.
That was a bit weird.
It was a bit weird.
We never went anywhere ever again. That was the only thing that threw me. I feel like that whole scene was, look what we can do. I can make her change into all these different people. Bit of shock value.
Yeah.
Let's just throw that scene. Let's throw that scene in.
Yeah.
Because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it never went anywhere ever again.
Yeah.
And it just, there was no
Strange.
even like, even if we'd had like after that, through the whole fight in the underground bunker in the dam.
Seeing as everything else was so what was it?
Everything was like perfectly put in place. Nothing felt out of line, and then this just random,
shoehorned in,
random little scene. But I said, even there was it was like they never crossed paths again.
No,
even when they were in the same fight in the underneath Alkali Lake.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
No,
there's nothing ever again, and it's just like it just didn't make sense as to why to put it there, other than the fact to show off.
It also made me realise that we've not seen Mystique at all in X-Men 97. Or did we at the very beginning?
Did we see? I don't know.
I don't think we've seen her.
What if we find out the whole thing is Mystique?
Imagine.
About it at the end. Maybe. Spoilers for this week's episode. She's not in it.
But yeah, I was quite surprised because I thought Mystique was quite a big character, and I thought she was in X-Men a lot.
I remember being in X-Men, the original cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the white dress. She was a white dress on, didn't she? Well, it's a kid's cartoon. They're not going to have a walking around bolloco like they did in the movie. But but yeah. Who else are we talking about? Nobody else was particularly memorable. Rogue?
Not particularly memorable, was she?
Bit mopey. Yeah?
Yeah.
Who else have we got? Got Rogue. I've got Rebecca Romijn. We've done Nightcrawler. We've done Pyro. We've done Bobby Drake. That's pretty much it. I think we've done the whole...
I think we've pretty much done everybody
The whole
now.
team.
Yeah.
Last scene then. Jean's sacrifice. Heavy.
I remember being gobsmacked and devastated.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think I was a bit older when I watched it, but I just remember because they'd given us little clues towards Phoenix. I wasn't that devastated because I knew where it was going.
I didn't. So I think, I mean, there's only a couple of years between us, but I think that's quite a pivotal moment because I would have been like 13.
Yeah.
So it didn't even cross my mind. I think the only thing...
Well, I was like 18, so it's like I was adult-ish. Do you know what I mean?
The very last scene.
Yeah.
You see one of the rocks do that or something, don't you?
You see the Phoenix in the water?
Well, never got onto that until this time around.
Didn't you really?
No.
It was so pale and so vague.
Yeah.
I can remember watching it the first time.
I saw that this time, and I actually, now that you've said it, I've gone, it definitely was then. When I watched it, I went, is that a shape in the water?
Yeah.
Is it doing something there?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay. But I thought I remembered seeing like a rock on the side of the lake or something, just kind of do that and hover a little bit or something.
No, I think that's in number 3.
Is it?
That's the start of number 3, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I think what they were trying to do then, it was too subtle because it wasn't even necessarily the shape of a bird. It was kind of just like a triangle-y type shape.
Yeah.
It was too subtle, and they did it so subtle in a time where you couldn't go online straight away and go, was that the Phoenix in the water? Do you know what I mean? It was 2003.
Yeah.
It was like the internet clearly was a thing, but it wasn't
Dial
the thing
still.
that it is now. Well, yeah, it just wasn't what it.
AOL.
It just wasn't what it is now. You couldn't go on there and find. You couldn't go and listen to a podcast or go on YouTube and go, was that this? Or breaking down, what was the ending of X-Men 2 meaning or something like that. So I think it was a bit too subtle, even for people who were looking at it. Because I can remember coming out of it and going, did we see the Phoenix? Did you see something in the water? No, I didn't see it in the water. Do you know what I mean? And people hadn't picked up on it because it was so subtle.
Yeah.
That whole scene though, like James Marsden, we've just sat there and said, can James Marsden do serious? He did nail this.
Yeah.
Completely
100%.
believable. Him and Hugh Jackman.
But it falls to the wayside because there's so many big personalities in it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because he didn't have a big personality in this, it was just a bit somber.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I feel like the way that the movie was aimed as well, and like this dude, was he married to Jean? He's not married to Jean at this point,
no.
but pretty much good as. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they are like, they've been together since they were teenagers. They've been together for years. She is the love of his life.
Yeah.
And Logan's had one quick kiss, and he's probably seen her 3 times in his life. Do you know what I mean? Literally, because that's what's happened. Because he disappeared. He's met her a couple of times. He's known her for about a week in X-Men 1. He does.
Yeah.
He's known her for a week in X-Men 1. He does a runner at the very end of X-Men 1.
Yeah.
And then comes back at the very start of X-Men 2. So he's literally known her for a week.
Yeah.
And had a quick kiss with her, which she didn't even really want. And then when she dies, we focus on him more than we do James Marsden.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
It's weird, isn't it?
It's weird.
Yeah.
And then number 3, they kill it, James Marsden off in the first 2 minutes, and it's the whole Hugh Jackman, it's the whole Wolverine Jean Grey love story.
Yeah.
At the end, and it's like, what? It just doesn't make sense.
No.
It's just that Wolverine is the character. Wolverine is everybody who all the kids want to be. It's all the toys that everybody wants.
Yeah.
And they just push Wolverine.
Yeah.
And that's why it's taken me to get to the end of this review. Let's not have Wolverine for 10 years. That was a really good full circle, wasn't it?
It
wasn't even didn't even mean to do that. But now that we've got to the end of this, I am 100% good with. Let's have Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in July, and then let's leave Wolverine for 10 years. Let's build Cyclops, Jean Grey, and do that. But yeah, that was it. X-Men 2. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
I enjoyed it. It was a solid movie.
I don't know whether I've seen Days of Future Past much more recently than I'd seen this. It's been 10 years since I've seen this. I don't think it's been 10 years since I saw Days of Future Past. But now that I've seen it, I don't know whether it's where it sits alongside Days of Future Past. Because Days of Future Past, how many times can you say that in a minute? It's a more modern film.
Yeah.
I think it gets a lot of things wrong, but I think it gets a lot of things right as well. So I think I'd put them on a par as the best 2 X-Men films. Whereas before I'd watch this again, as much as I did enjoy this, I probably would have put this more so ahead of it.
I also think First Class was a fantastic film.
X-Men First Class was amazing.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's just a bit understated.
Yeah.
I think the whole bravado of what Days of Future Past does.
Yeah.
It's just because it was it before
was
MCU?
It the first time we had the Sentinels as well?
Yeah, it was the first time we saw the Sentinels. What year was Days of Future Past? Was it before? Was it pre?
Was it 11? Was it 2011?
Don't know. I'm going to tell you now.
Or 2010? Maybe around there.
2014, so it's post Avengers.
Bloody hell, 14.
Yeah, so it's only 10 years old. But it felt, I don't know why, it just felt massive at the time because it's like we've got these X-Men and these X-Men and we're smushing them together.
Yeah.
And that just felt huge.
Yeah.
And now it necessarily wouldn't feel huge, but yeah, it did.
I remember it feeling massive because you were finally putting the 2 timelines
I think
together.
It's because even though we'd had Avengers, so we'd had this sort of, this movie where we were sticking different things together already, it didn't feel like, I mean, they were all part of the same universe and had been since X-Men, and we were led to believe it was going that way anyway.
Yeah.
And even though I don't think until Future Past came out, it had ever been sort of 100% sort of stated that X-Men First Class is this X-Men 2, X-Men Last Stand universe. I know we'd had the Hugh Jackman cameo, but it was a cameo in X-Men First Class. He was in it for 2 seconds and he tells them to fuck off.
Yeah.
And it felt more, didn't feel as serious. So I think when it was like, wow, these two are this is the same universe. This is just the prequel to that universe. And now we are mashing them together. It felt massive. I need to go back and watch Days of Future Past now. I'm really excited to watch it. I'm just in proper X-Men mode. So that's us. Should we see what listeners think? Should we do Pod Fans Assemble?
Yeah.
Pod Fans Assemble.
So we asked what you thought of X-Men 2 from 2003, as if it was 2003. That's crazy, isn't it?
21 years.
Insane.
Back in my day.
So, 9% of you hated it.
What are you thinking?
I know.
What do you want?
14% said it was okay.
Okay.
77% loved it.
That's really good.
I think that's a really good response.
What did we get to Spider-Man last week? 92% loved it, I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
That's still really good.
Yeah.
Just shows how it holds up for a 21-year-old movie.
Oh, 100%. So Geeky Nate said, it gives us Nightcrawler some great Xavier Magneto scenes and has some nice subplots that came together, all focused around Stryker. And the film ends showing just how powerful Jean really is and sets up for the Phoenix story nicely. Obviously, number 3 ruins that story.
Yeah, completely. Unless you're Anthony, because Anthony thinks it's the best thing ever.
I don't think it's the best thing ever. I liked
Anthony said it's the best Marvel movie ever seen.
Why are you being like this?
Anthony said it was better than Endgame.
No, I
cut
never.
it out. I edited that bit out.
You said that it would have made it perfect if Ezra Miller was in it.
It would.
Ezra Miller is Apocalypse.
What can I say? I'm in. I'd rather have Ezra Miller than The Rock.
Jared Leto as Mr. Sinister.
Yes.
Could you imagine?
No, I could actually imagine that.
Yeah, no, I could.
Kind of like that.
I was going to say it as a joke at first, and then I was like, no, I'm kind of into it.
I get
it. So, Ross Kiernan said, it is the second best X-Men movie, with Logan being the first, in my opinion. Watched it a few days ago in preparation for Deadpool 3. Great movie all round, from the plot to the action sequences.
I don't rate Logan.
Don't you? I liked Logan.
Right.
But
I liked Logan.
But it wasn't a mutant film.
It's not even the fact that it wasn't a mutant film. I liked Logan. I enjoyed Logan.
Yeah.
I don't get the big rave over it. I think it was a good film.
Yeah.
I don't think when people are like, "Oh my god, it's the best comic book movie ever."
It's not something I can sit and watch constantly.
It's dark and
it gives
gritty.
me
depressed vibes.
It gives me like Walking Dead. Like, and I don't mean Walking Dead as in like the zombies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of the world rather than your actual focus on. I don't know. I don't know how I'm trying to explain it, but
it didn't feel like it felt like you're trying to say that it felt like a movie about something that wasn't comic booky, just with comic book characters, and you could have done the same movie with different characters.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
It felt like it was trying too hard.
Yeah.
It really did. It felt like it was like, right, let's go with like we're going to make this movie as gritty and as dark, and we've got to get it to be an R-rated movie, so let's just throw in what we can to make it really dark and gritty, so everyone goes, oh, look, it's that dark and gritty. It just, I think the Wolverine did it better.
Do you? Yeah. Fair. And then Padawan Brick said, despite only watching the X-Men movies for the lead up to X-Men 97, X-Men 2 has become one of my favourite comic book movies. Cool. My only problem with it was they didn't use Cyclops enough.
No, as we just said.
Yeah.
The thing with that's all of them. That's everybody this week.
That's everyone.
That's everyone this week. That I think the lack of continuity really used to really do my head in. That was the biggest thing with them, because it just felt silly by the time you got to Days of Future Past. It was just so much wrong, things that weren't consistent. And it just cheapened it, and that's why I don't want. I know we're getting Deadpool and Wolverine possibly into the MCU, or certainly Deadpool into the MCU.
Yeah,
but I think Deadpool's the only character you can bring in.
Yeah,
bringing any other character from that universe into the MCU, I don't like it, because it's just not known for its continuity, and that's why Marvel has done so well with the MCU, because it doesn't really retcon much.
Yeah.
You get the odd thing, but for the most part, it's absolutely spot on, and it follows it through.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, guys. Before we wrap up, we'll do patron shout-outs. Thanks to Geeky Nate, Kenneth, Richard, Jessica, Avid Gamer, Sheldon, and Michael for supporting the show. Patrons get exclusive access to our bonus show, Into the Podverse, with new episodes every month. Last month we're in May now. Last month we did Batman and Robin. We did a full bad movie commentary for you. You can listen to the review of that on the main show a couple of episodes ago. Episode 99? Episode 99.
I think so, yeah.
It was. This month we are doing, we said this last week, we're doing Madam Web.
Yeah.
We've not seen it yet. I'm not really even looking forward to this. I'll be really honest. I think it's just going to be crap, but it is what it is. I'm not looking, like The Flash was crap, but it was funny. This is just going to be shit. We're going to do Madam Web. Probably going to record it next week. We'll send out the Podfans Assemble things for you to send in your messages. So we're going to do the movie commentary, and then we're going to do 20-minute review at the end of it. It's all going to be on the Patreon though, so we're not going to do the review for the main show. Other than that, thanks for listening. Don't forget to come back next week for our X-Men 97 finale review and full season wrap up.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Especially after this week.
Yeah.
I just don't get how you're going to top this week.
No,
that's my only thing. I feel like this week is going to be the best episode.
Yeah, I think. I think so.
I've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to do a full season recap.
Unless they leave it on a really big cliffhanger for season 2.
Oh, they're going to do that, aren't they?
I think they might.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm good with that though because we get season 2.
Yeah.
All right, we get season 2. Yeah, I'm good with that. Don't forget to follow us on X/Twitter and Instagram for the latest updates on the show and calls to action for next week's Pod Fans Assemble. And if you've enjoyed the show, make sure you follow us on your favourite podcast platforms and don't forget to leave a 5-star rating or review on Apple or Spotify. The more reviews we get, the higher we go up the charts, and the more people will find the show. We done?
That's it. We're done.
We're done. I'm psyched for X-Men next week now.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go and cry now after X-Men this week. Still not got over it.
Yeah, I was a bit traumatized myself.
Just a little bit. Is there a helpline we can ring?
Can you imagine?
I'm gonna take that broke up. They had like helplines. I feel Tamagotchi when your Tamagotchi died. I feel like we need an X-Men 97 helpline.
Yeah, I think so too.
We'll start it and get somebody. Sound. See you later, guys.
See you later. Bye bye.
My Time to Shine, hello, has got a rumour as to where Adamantium is coming from into the MCU, and apparently it's going to be rumoured. It's going to be rumoured. Fucking hell. It's going to be... I can't talk.
Stop saying rumour.
When you don't get...
Stop saying rumour. Just stop.
Can't do it. Can't do it this week. Can I do it at start again?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Fuck my life.